Oh, hello. Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, what are the best new cards for Modern from Assassin's Creed? There are none. Good night, and thanks for watching. Oh, okay. There may be one, or maybe two, though probably just one, cards of interest for Modern from Assassin's Creed, but don't exactly have a lot of faith in them. And yet, this newest Universes Beyond set is, for some reason, Modern legal. Now, there's actually a ton of great new cards in here for Commander, new legendary creatures to build around, and some very splashy new toys for the 99, so, yeah, I'm gonna talk about that as well. Thus presented here are the best new cards for Modern from Assassin's Creed, and also, after I've talked about that one card, the best new cards for Commander for the 99. Basically, we're covering both formats, alright? We're gonna talk about the best of Assassin's Creed as it relates to Modern and as it relates to Commander. So, whether you are a Modern player or a Commander player, here are the best new cards that you may want to consider picking up. Always remember, buy singles. As always, I will not be covering legendary creatures for Commander unless I feel they have a place in the 99. And I will of course mark each of my picks in this video with whether I feel they will be best suited for Modern or for Commander, or perhaps both. So what are the best new cards from Assassin's Creed? Let's take a look. But first, I have a very important question for you. Is there anything better than a good night's sleep? Not only does getting a really good night's sleep feel amazing, but literally everything else you do for the rest of the day is gonna feel better because of it. You know, they say you're gonna spend something like 30 years of your life sleeping on top of your mattress, so you better make sure it's a good one. And there's no better mattress in the game than Helix Sleep, sponsor of today's video. Helix Sleep offers premium mattresses customized for your individual needs and shipped directly to your door with free shipping within the United States. The Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses, including their award-winning Luxe and Ultra Premium Elite collection, their Helix Plus, a mattress designed for big and tall sleepers, and of course the Helix Kids mattress designed for growing bodies and endorsed by child sleep and medical experts. Everybody is different and every body is different, and Helix knows that. So they made a sleep quiz that matches your unique body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. Helix offers a 100-night sleep trial, giving you over 3 months to ensure you love it. Their mattresses also come with a 10-year warranty, financing options, and flexible payment plans. I actually sleep on a Helix mattress, and I've had my Helix mattress for over 2 years now, and I absolutely love it. That is completely real, by the way. I really do sleep on a Helix, and I really love it. I honestly used to struggle to get a good night's sleep, but Helix has made a huge difference in my life. They're great beds. And thanks to Helix's 4th of July sale running right now, this is the perfect time to get your hands and your backs, stomachs, and sides on a great mattress. Upgrade your sleep with 30% off of an Elite or Luxe mattress plus 2 free pillows, or just take advantage of 25% off site-wide. Go to helixsleep.com/Tolarian or just click the link below to find out more about this limited time offer. Again, that's helixsleep.com/Tolarian, and thank you, Helix, not just for that great night's sleep, but also for sponsoring this video. First up is a card that is not a new card, but a card that is new to Modern. Reconnaissance, a 1-mana white enchantment with a pretty weird ability. Pay 0 mana to remove target attacking creature you control from combat. That's it! That's the card! I don't know whether for sure this card will see Modern play, but if it does, it'll be because of a weird interaction between this Maze of Ith style effect and the end of combat step. See, there's a hidden step in every combat phase that usually gets passed through on a player's way to their main phase 2. During that step, your creature has already dealt combat damage, but they are still technically attacking. This means you can use Reconnaissance to untap a creature and remove it from combat in the end of combat step after they've dealt combat damage, effectively giving the creature vigilance. You can use Reconnaissance to safely trigger attack triggers on cards like Caustic Bronco or the new flip Tameo before they get blocked by a larger creature. Or you can use it to make combat profitable for you, attacking with a wide board and saving any creature that your opponent is is able to block from dying. Lastly, Reconnaissance could theoretically find a home in the Nadu combo deck, doing all the above things while also serving as a way to target your creatures twice for free when Nadu is in play. Of course, it can only do that if you're in combat, but 2 Nadu triggers per attacking creature is nothing to sneeze at. If Reconnaissance sees modern play, it will be because it only costs 1 mana to cast and 0 mana to activate, meaning it's a very low investment in a format that's all about speed and mana efficiency. It might also not see play right away, but knowing it's now legal in Modern means it's a card to pay some attention to as more cards enter the format down the road. Alright, now that we've gotten our 1 Modern card out of the way, let's switch over to Commander. Will we be switching back? You'll just have to wait and see. Let's switch over to Commander for a moment. Brotherhood Regalia is a 2-mana colorless equipment with Equip 3 or Equip 1 if it targets a legendary creature. The equipment gives a number of beneficial abilities: Ward 2, Unblockable, and makes the creature an assassin in addition to its other types. This is a fantastic card for any Commander deck that revolves around connecting with your commander. Similarly to Reconnaissance in Modern, Regalia is also useful for decks that want to trigger their attack triggers but don't want to risk losing their creatures in combat. Equipment decks will certainly want this card as well, and I wouldn't be surprised if more generic artifact decks, like Alila Artful Provocateur, found a use for this card in their 99s. It also makes casting free-running spells even easier than it otherwise would be, thanks to Brotherhood Regalia granting the assassin creature type to its wearer. Of course, that'll only come up when you attach it to a legendary creature that isn't your commander, but it's worth keeping that in mind. I'll talk about free-running spells more in just a moment. This is the kind of commander card that always sees a ton of play in the format. Efficient, colorless, and useful in a wide variety of decks. Ward 2 is not nearly as good as Full Protection, but 2 is just about the most that Ward can cost before it becomes essentially hexproof. Looking at you, Voha and Kappa Cannoneer. The card is more efficient than Whisper Silk Cloak, more flexible than Winged Boots, and is just a strict upgrade to Trailblazer Boots. Best part, it's an uncommon, so given how much this set is likely to get opened, you'll probably be able to find a copy or 6 for not too much money. Next up is another equipment for Commander. For a set as small as this one, it sure has a lot of equipment. Excalibur, Sword of Eden, is a massive equipment card that can get a lot cheaper very easily. 12 mana at retail price for a colorless legendary equipment, Excalibur grants equipped creature +10/+0 and Vigilance. Excalibur doesn't get cheaper when equipped to legendary creatures, it can only be equipped to legendary creatures. Basically, Excalibur single-handedly turns any legendary creature into a ridiculous must-answer threat. The best part? Excalibur costs X less to cast, where X is the total mana value among historic permanents that you control. No, not greatest mana value, the total mana value. So yes, if you had, say, a 12 mana legendary Galta in play, this would cost only 0 mana. But it also costs 0 mana if you have Emry, Lurker of the Loch, Sai, Master Thopterist, Mind Stone, and a Mystic Forge in play. Wait a minute, is casting Excalibur from your graveyard with Emry the best cross-set flavor win in all of Magic the Gathering? The answer, of course, is yes, as Emry is the Magic Universe's equivalent of Lady in the Lake from Arthurian legend. She's certainly holding the Magic equivalent of Excalibur in her card's art. Okay, I'm officially declaring Excalibur a must-include in any and every Emry deck. Speaking of must-includes, let's talk about Excalibur in Galta again. This thing turns Galta into a 22 power trampling vigilance commander, all for the low cost of just 2 mana to equip it. Who knew all Galta needed to reach its full potential was a sword? Even outside of Galta decks, Excalibur is very strong. +10/+0 and vigilance is just absurd. Equip this to your commander, attach, say, a Fire Shrieker, and voila! Assuming your commander started with at least 1 power, you have a repeatable one-hit KO threat on your hands. And if you strap a Brotherhood Regalia on it too, then I hope your opponents are ready to die in 1 to 3 business turns. Excalibur is going to be nothing short of awesome in any and every equipment deck, any and every artifact deck, and any and every Legends deck. Or truly any and every deck that can make this thing cost 2 or less mana with ease. The next card on our list is actually an entire subset of cards, the free-running cards in Commander. Free-running is a mechanic that lets you cast a spell for an alternate cost, usually a cheaper cost, though not always, if you've dealt damage with either an assassin or, unfortunately, a commander. Viewpoint Synchronization in green, Eagle Vision in blue, and Restart Sequence in black. Synchronization is a supercharged Cultivate, Eagle Vision is basically Ancestral Recall, and Restart Sequence is an uber-efficient, no-downside Reanimate effect. 3 of these cards are too expensive if you have to pay the retail rate on them, but the moment you cast them for their free-running cost, the rate on these cards shoots through the roof. Every blue deck that has a remotely realistic chance of connecting with its commander when you want to should include Eagle Vision. Pretty much every black deck would benefit from Restart Sequence. Viewpoint Synchronization is arguably the strongest of the 3 in Commander, but a lot of green decks that want super juiced ramp spells will also have the hardest time turning on free running. Eagle Vision and Restart Sequence would also be fantastic in Modern if it were possible to realistically turn on free running. But there are only 59 assassin cards already in Modern, and not a single one, no, I'm serious, not one, is currently played in Modern. No, not even Royal Assassin. Consistently turning on free running is just not realistic in the Modern format, even if you were to try and assemble a dedicated assassin deck. Alright, speaking of Modern, I do have one more Modern card to talk about on this list. Wow, the fact that this new direct-to-Modern set only has 1, maybe 2 cards that will probably be good in Modern, it's almost like this set should have just been a Commander set. But sorry, I'm digressing. Let's talk about this next card. The best, and perhaps only card for Modern from Assassin's Creed is the Animus. The Animus is a colorless 2-mana legendary artifact. At the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 target legendary creature card from a graveyard with a memory counter on it. Anytime you could cast a sorcery, you may tap the Animus to turn a legendary creature you control into a copy of an exiled creature with a memory counter on it until your next turn. That activate only as a sorcery clause, unfortunately, is a huge nerf to the Animus's Modern applications. It essentially means the Animus can't activate the turn it comes down, since you don't exile a card to it until your end step. If this card turns out to be good, it'll be because its ceiling is turning your creatures into a Grizzlebrand on turn 3, or some other powerful but expensive legend like Sheoldred or Urza. If you're using this card, it's likely to be for some combo rather than as a weird and slow value engine. All the possible uses I can imagine, though, are pretty narrow and hard to pull off. Honestly, most of the best things the Animus can do are just things Agatha's Soul Cauldron can do a lot better. The truth is I've included the Animus on this list not because I expect it to turn Modern on its head or even become a format staple. I'm including the Animus because it's just the only other best card for Modern from this set that's worth talking about, which really goes to show just how little this set is doing for Modern, but has to be Modern legal so that players will buy packs, I guess. The last 2 cards on this list are going to be very powerful in Commander, so much more powerful than the Animus will be in Modern that it really drives home the idea that this set really should have just been a Commander set all along. But what are those 2 cards? Well, the second best Assassin's Creed card for any format is the Crystal Skull, Isu's Spyglass. Crystal Skull is a 4-mana legendary mana rock in blue of all colors and strapped to a fantastic future sight effect for historic lands and spells. It's pretty uncommon for a blue to get a mana rock with no restrictions on how that mana can be spent, though that is becoming less and less true in recent years. Crystal Skull is better than pretty much all of the blue mana rocks we've seen so far. That's because it's both a mana rock and a supercharged Mystic Forge. Crystal Skull means blue artifact decks will now have double the number of Mystic Forge style effects that they get to run. And because Crystal Skull can play any historic card off the top of your deck, you won't find yourself stuck with a Sai Master Thopterist or an Urza Saga on top of your deck that you can't cast. Crystal Skull could also be useful in a deck like Joda the Unifier, though unfortunately Joda only triggers his Legend Cascade if you cast a spell from your hand. but Crystal Skull may also find a home in other blue-based Legends Matter decks, such as Sisay, Weatherlight Captain, or perhaps in a Joyra Weatherlight Captain deck as a way to continue Joyra's fantastic value engine. I could even see it finding a home in something like a Tom Bombadil Saga Matters deck, which, by the way, we have a affordable budget pre-con list of here with some great upgrade suggestions, so if you haven't seen our Tom Bombadil deck list video, you might want to check that out. Mystic Forge has been a very strong card in Commander since it entered the format, and Crystal Skull is likely to be even stronger. It doesn't have the unrestricted color identity of Mystic Forge, but most decks that played Mystic Forge were already blue anyway. So what is my top pick for Commander from Assassin's Creed? Let's take a look. Last but certainly not least, we have Caduceus, Staff of Hermes. Have you ever wanted to make any other creature you control into a Serra Ascendant? Well, now you can. Staff of Hermes is a legendary 3-mana white equipment, which equips for double white. It grants equipped creature lifelink as a baseline, but when your life total is above 30, that is most of the time in Commander, the equipped creature actually gets +5/+5, indestructible, and prevent all damage that would be done to this creature. So as long as you haven't lost more than 10 life in your Commander game, the Staff of Hermes gives a creature +5/+5 lifelink and indestructible. If you do somehow happen to slip below 30 life, this card can still help you climb back up to boosted stats territory. The Staff is great in any white deck that has creatures, which is, of course, virtually every white deck. I especially like it in decks that have a lot of flying creatures, like Giada decks, or a Flying Matters deck like Hesperia or Kalia of the Vast. White-based Voltron decks like Rafik of the Many or Uril will be thrilled to strap this card onto their resident pants wearer. And you just know that I'm going to try it in my Scholar of the Seas Commander deck, which if you want to see in action, I play against Rachel Weeks, Gavin Verhey, and George in one of my favorite episodes of Shuffle Up and Play, which you can watch here. The Indestructible Clause is especially awesome in white because it means your equipped creature will survive your own Wrath of God as long as your life total is over 30. After all, the only thing better than a creature with +5/+5, indestructible, and lifelink is a creature with +5/+5, indestructible, and lifelink on a board with no other creatures. Honestly, I'm a little worried that this card will not be very fun to play with in Commander. That's because it's very easy to activate and very powerful when it is indeed active. If you put the Staff of Hermes in your deck, you should expect the rest of the table to put a lot of work into keeping you below 30 life. But unfortunately for your opponents, a white deck that really wants to stay above 30 life will probably be pretty good at staying above 30 life. And thus, the Staff of Hermes is yet another example of this set that is supposedly a modern set, having almost nothing for modern alongside a pile of pushed cards for Commander. Why? Tell me, why did Assassin's Creed have to be modern legal? And more importantly, why did it have to exist at all? Or at the very least, why did it have to exist in such a way that we're talking about it mere days after Modern Horizons 3, one of the best, most exciting new sets for Modern, just came out? But all those questions and more are, of course, for another video, though you might want to let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. Am I being too hard on Assassin's Creed? No, not me, but let me know what you think. And I do hope very much that this video has been of some help to you. You can help me out a lot just by watching one more video by me. Those should all be thumbnails of other videos we've done recently. I don't know. Go watch one more video after this, or if you don't have time for that, hit the subscribe button, maybe slam a like, or leave a comment below. Share with a friend. It all is appreciated, and I thank you. Hey, thanks again to Helix Sleep, sponsor of this video. You know, Helix Sleep offers premium mattresses customized for your individual needs and shipped directly to your door with free shipping within the United States. And there's a 4th of July sale running right now, so it's the perfect time to get your hands and your back, stomach, and side on a great mattress. Upgrade your sleep with 30% off of an Elite or Luxe mattress plus 2 free pillows, or just take advantage of 25% off site-wide. Go to helixsleep.com/Tolarian or just click the link below to find out more about this limited time offer. Again, that's helixsleep.com/Tolarian. A good night's sleep is just a Helix mattress away.
Next time on Shuffle Up and Play.
Dr. Lupo came on the condition that I would play this deck. I don't know what it is.
You're gonna be playing Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
I am Ash Lizzle, Gisa the Hellraiser.
I am Niall Joan Rivers, Rakdos the Muscle.
Hey, Dr. Lupo, Obeka, Splitter of Seconds.
My commander's in Sultai, but it sounds like if I play her right, I'm gonna make my opponents Sultai.
Prof, Steamer.
Teamer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Swing at you, Prof, for one.
What did I do? Are you not attacking Lupo because he
Listen.
used to be big?
First of all, no. But
I know Ninja, guys. Okay.
That's what she said.
that's what I said.
she
That's
said.
what I
Call
said.
him.
All right, can we form an alliance here?
If you stop hitting me and taking the initiative.
Screw you.
He said, let's team up, and then followed it almost immediately with screw you, screw you.
I'm gonna Toxic Deluge for 6.
Do it for 5. Do it for 5. That is a violation of our alliance.
As we like to say, poggers.
I don't know what that
you know
means.
that,
I
right?
don't know what poggers mean.
Poggers is something you feel in your heart. And I think you've got your heart a little too closed off to poggers.
All right, I will open my heart to poggers.